The cleats slammed into my ribs like a freight train, knocking the wind out of me before I even hit the turf. "Faggot can't even stay upright," Jake snarled, his face twisted in that fake grin teammates used to mask the venom. I gasped for air, tasting blood and grass, wondering if this practice would be the one that finally broke me, or if Coach Harlan's whistle would ever blow for real justice. I remember the exact moment it all started feeling like a noose tightening around my neck. It was freshman orientation week at Easton University in upstate New York, the kind of crisp September morning where the Hudson Valley air smells like fallen leaves and fresh starts. I'd grown up in a sleepy suburb of Buffalo, the son of a single mom who worked double shifts at the hospital to afford my cleats and that beat-up Ford she'd drive me to every youth league game. Soccer was my escape, my proof that I could outrun the whispers at school. The ones that started when I was 14 and caught myself staring too long at the quarterback in gym class. Easton was supposed to be different. A Division III powerhouse with a legacy of underdog wins. The Wildcats soccer team had scouted me after my senior year stats. 22 goals, all-state honorable mention. Coach Harlan himself had called, his voice gravelly over the phone like he'd smoked a pack before dialing. "Kid, you've got fire in those legs. We need that." I packed my bags that night, dreaming of green fields and guys who judged you by your footwork, not your secrets. But secrets have a way of bubbling up, especially when you're 18 and terrified of your own heartbeat. Tryouts were brutal. 201 drills that left us puking on the sidelines, Harlan barking orders like a drill sergeant who'd seen too many wars. He was in his late 40s, built like a retired linebacker with salt and pepper hair buzzed short and eyes that could pin you from across the field. We'd all heard the stories. Ex-pro in Europe, blew out his knee at 25, came back to coach because losing hurts worse than any tackle. He didn't smile much, but when he did it was like the sun cracking through storm clouds. I made the cut barely. Started as a sub on the wing. My speed earning me minutes but my hesitance costing me trust. The team was a mix. Jake, the cocky captain from Jersey with tattoos snaking up his arms. Marcus, the quiet goalie from Atlanta who'd quote Bible verses before games. A handful of international kids who kept to themselves. And then the vets like Tyler, who partied like it was his job and flirted with anything that moved. I kept my head down, laughed at their jokes, showered last to avoid the steam room stares. The bullying started subtle. A misplaced pass during scrimmage and Jake would mutter, "Light on your feet, huh, Ellis?" I'd force a chuckle, tell myself it was locker room banter. But by week 3 it escalated. We were running suicides, those soul-crushing sprints from goal line to midfield and back. When I clipped Tyler's heel on a turn, he went down hard, rolling with a dramatic flair that had the guys howling. "Watch it, princess," Tyler groaned, popping up and shoving my shoulder. The push turned into a trip the next day, then an elbow in a drill. Marcus joined in once, whispering "sinner" under his breath during a water break, his eyes darting like he was confessing to God and me at once. I didn't fight back, I couldn't. Mom had drilled it into me. Rising above, Alex. That's how you win. But rising above felt a lot like drowning. Harlan noticed, of course. He always did. After a particularly rough session where Jake accidentally spiked my calf, leaving a welt the size of a fist, Coach pulled me aside by the equipment shed. The sun was dipping low, casting long shadows over the AstroTurf, and the air hummed with crickets starting their evening chorus. "Ellis," he said, crossing his arms over that faded Easton hoodie, "you gonna tell me what's eating you, or do I have to guess?" I shrugged, picking at the turf with my toe. "Just adjusting, coach. Team's intense." His laugh was short, bitter. "Intense is one word for it. Look, kid, this game's about heart. You got it or you wouldn't be here. But heart without spine? That's just bleeding on the field." He clapped my shoulder, firm but not unkind, and walked away. I stood there, replaying his words, wondering if he saw more than I wanted him to. That night, in my cramped dorm room overlooking the quad, I scrolled through Grindr for the first time since arriving. Not to hook up, God no, the thought terrified me, but to remind myself I wasn't invisible. A message popped up from Hudson Hiker. A blurry profile pic of broad shoulders against autumn foliage. "Hey, saw you at the field today. Cute form." My stomach flipped. Was it a teammate? A fan? I deleted the app, heart pounding, and buried myself under the covers. Practice the next day was hell. We were prepping for our opener against Riverton. A rivalry game that packed the stands with alumni screaming for blood. Harlan had us on set pieces, corners, and free kicks, and I was feeding the ball to Jake for headers. On the third rep he mistimed it or didn't, and drove his forehead straight into my nose. Crunch. Blood everywhere, hot and metallic, splattering my jersey. Shit, sorry man, Jake said, not sounding sorry at all. The team froze, a circle of awkward silence broken only by Tyler's snicker. Harlan exploded onto the field like a thunderclap. What the hell was that, Reynolds? You trying to end his season before it starts? He hauled Jake up by the collar, faces inches apart, veins bulging in his neck. Jake went pale, stammering apologies, but coach shoved him toward the bench. Sit. Now. He turned to me, kneeling with a towel, his hand steady as he tilted my head back. Breathe through your mouth, Ellis. Pressure here. Up close, he smelled like coffee and Old Spice, his brow furrowed in concentration. For a second our eyes locked and something passed between us. Concern maybe, or recognition. You okay? Yeah. I mumbled, the word muffled. It's fine. It's not fine. He stood, helping me up, his grip lingering on my elbow. Team huddle. Now. We gathered, a ragged semicircle under the floodlights flickering to life. Harlan paced, his cleats crunching gravel. Listen up. This ain't Pee Wee League. You hit hard, you hit fair. Anyone pulls that weak shit again, you're off my roster. Understand? His gaze swept us, landing heavy on Jake, then Marcus, then Tyler. They nodded, mumbling yes sirs, but I caught the side eyes, the resentment simmering. After, as we taped ankles in the locker room, Tyler leaned in close while lacing his boots. Coach's got a soft spot for you, Ellis. Careful, he might start braiding your hair next. Laughter rippled, low and mean. I zipped my bag, ignoring the heat in my cheeks, and headed out into the cooling night. That weekend we crushed Riverton 3-1. I assisted the winner, a curling cross that Marcus, ironically, nodded home. The crowd roared, boosters slapping my back at the post-game barbecue on the quad. Beers flowed illegally for us freshmen, and for once the slaps felt genuine. Even Jake clapped me on the shoulder, muttering, "Nice ball, man." I allowed myself to hope. But hope's a fragile thing in a world that loves to shatter it. Monday practice and the app message haunted me. I reinstalled Grindr during lecture, curiosity winning over fear. Hudson Hiker. You play for the Cats? Saw your goal celebration, bold. My thumbs hovered. Yeah, that's me. You? The reply came fast. Just a local. Coffee sometime? I deleted it again, but the seed was planted. Loneliness, that quiet thief, had me questioning everything. Was it worth the risk? Could I ever be out here on this team in this life I'd fought for? Little did I know the real risk was closer than a screen name. Harlan called a film session that evening in the athletics center. Dim lights and the hum of projectors. We dissected the game, his pointer jabbing at mistakes like accusations. Midway through, he paused on a clip of my assist. See that, Ellis? That's vision. That's what separates good from great. Pride swelled unbidden, and I met his eyes in the glow of the screen. He held the look a beat too long, then cleared his throat and moved on. Afterward, as the guys filed out joking about pizza, he waved me back. Hang up a sec. The room emptied, leaving us with the echo of chairs scraping. He leaned against the desk, arms crossed. That nose holding up? Yeah, coach. Bruise is fading. Good. He rubbed his jaw, stubble rasping. Listen, I know what it's like. The pack turning on you. Had a team once back in my playing days that ate its own. Lost my best friend to it. His voice cracked just a hair, and he looked away, toward the window where campus lights twinkled like distant stars. Don't let him break you, kid. You're tougher than they know. I nodded, throat tight. Thanks. What else could I say? That I was scared? That every shove felt like confirmation of my worst fears? He straightened, clapping my shoulder again. Get some rest. Big week's coming. As I left, his words lingered, a lifeline in the dark. But lifelines can tangle. By mid-October, the bullying had a rhythm. Shoves and drills, accidental gear sabotage, whispers that followed me to the dining hall. I confided in no one, not even my roommate, a poli-sci major who blasted EDM to drown out the world. Instead, I ran extra miles at dawn, pounding pavement until my lungs burned, pretending the ache was progress. Then came the away game at Colgate. A bus ride through fog-shrouded hills that felt like descending into some forgotten myth. We won 2-0, my speed burning their fullback off the ball for the second goal. Elation hit like a drug, high-fives, Gatorade showers in the locker room. Even Tyler bear hugged me, yelling, "You're a beast, Ellis." The high crashed on the ride home. Jake, buzzed from smuggled flasks, cornered me in the back row while the bus rumbled over potholes. "Heard you got a fan club," he slurred, breath sour. "Some dude messaging you? Careful, pretty boy. Teammates first, right?" My blood iced. How did he know? The app? A hack? I played dumb. "What are you talking about?" He laughed too loud. "Don't play coy. Marcus saw your phone light up in the dorms." Hudson Hiker? Real subtle. The name hung there, venomous. Marcus, with his prayers and his judgment. Betrayal stung worse than any cleat. "Stay out of it," I hissed, shoving past to the front, where Harlan sat scrolling his phone, oblivious. That night, back in my room, I blocked the profile, deleted the app for good. But sleep wouldn't come. What if they all knew? What if the next practice was the explosion? It was. Wednesday, under a sky heavy with rain clouds, we ran possession drills. I nutmegged Tyler, clean legal, and he retaliated by clotheslining me into the mud. I slit, jersey ripping at the seam, and came up swinging. Not thinking, just rage. My fist connected with his jaw, a dull thud that echoed. The whistle shrilled. Harlan stormed over, yanking us apart. "Enough. Both of you, my office. Now." The athletic office smelled like liniment and stale coffee. Fluorescent buzz overhead. Tyler slumped in a chair. Ice on his face, glaring daggers. I stood, fists clenched, mud dripping onto the carpet. Harlan slammed the door, whirling on us. "What the fuck is this? We're a team, not a bar brawl." His eyes bored into Tyler. "You started it?" Tyler shrugged. "He cheap shot me first." "Liar," I spat. "Enough." Harlan's voice boomed, then softened, weary. "Tyler out. Suspension 2 practices. Ellis, cool off." Tyler stormed past, shoulder-checking me. Alone with Coach, the air thickened. He sank into his chair, rubbing temples. "Seat, kill." I did, the plastic creaking. "I'm sorry, Coach. They won't stop." He leaned forward, elbows on knees. "The messages? The slurs? I know." My heart stopped. "You. How?" "Saw the bruises. Heard the talk." He sighed, deep and ragged. "This game's supposed to build men, not break 'em. But some boys, they carry their daddy's hate like a badge." I stared at my hands, knuckles split. "It's because, you know." He nodded slow. "Yeah, I know." A pause heavy as fog. "And it's bullshit. You're here because you're damn good. Don't let him steal that." For the first time, tears pricked my eyes, not from pain but relief. Someone saw me. What do I do? Fight smart. On the field, off it. He stood, offering a hand. I took it, his grip warm, steady. "And if it gets worse?" My door's open. I left that office lighter, the rain finally breaking as I crossed campus. Puddles reflected street lamps, and for a moment, Easton felt like home. But home has cracks, and mine was widening. Friday's game against Syracuse loomed. Scouts in the stands, my mom flying down from Buffalo. I trained harder, channeling fury into footwork. Harlan pushed us all, his drills sharper, like he was forging weapons from frayed nerves. The night before the match, I couldn't sleep. Slipped out for a walk, ending up at the empty field. Moonlight silvered the goalposts, and I kicked imaginary balls, shadow dancing with ghosts. Footsteps crunched behind me, Harlan, thermos in hand, watching from the bleachers. "Can't sleep either," he called. I froze. Nerves. He joined me on the pitch, sipping what smelled like Scotch-lace coffee. "First big one." "Yeah." We stood side by side, silence comfortable. Then hesitant. "Coach, you said you lost a friend. To the team." His jaw tightened. "Long time ago. Europe. Guy named Luca. Best winger I ever played with. A beat. We were close. Too close for the locker room. They found out. Hazing turned ugly. He quit. Never spoke again." My chest ached. "I'm sorry." "Don't be." His choice. Mine too, staying silent. He looked at me, eyes shadowed. Learn from it, Ellis. Speak when it counts. I nodded, words failing. We parted with a fist bump, but his story lodged in me like a thorn, beautiful, painful, a warning wrapped in wisdom. Game day dawned electric. Mom hugged me pre-kickoff, her eyes misty. Make him proud, baby. The whistle blew and I flew, dribbling past defenders, crossing with precision. At halftime, up 1-0, Harlan's pep talk was fire. This is your field. Own it. Second half I scored. A breakaway, chip over the keeper, the net rippling like applause. The stadium erupted, teammates mobbing me. Not shoves but genuine joy. Jake even lifted me off the ground. For those seconds I believed in us. Post-game, the locker room buzzed with victory. Beers cracked, coach's blind eye, stories flying. Tyler, still suspended, texted congrats. Marcus clapped my back, mumbling something about grace. Hope flickered again. But as celebrations wound down, Jake pulled me aside by the showers. Hey, Truce. That Hudson shit. Forget it. You're one of us. I searched his face, wary. Yeah. He grinned, clapping my neck. Felt real. Maybe Harlan was right, fight smart and they come around. That night, Mom and I grabbed diner food, greasy fries and milkshakes, reminiscing about my first goal at age 6. You're shining, Alex, she said, squeezing my hand. Don't dim it for anyone. I promised I wouldn't. Lying in bed later, phone dark, I felt the weight lift. Easton was messy, but it was mine. October blurred into November, leaves turning the campus into a postcard. Practices steadied. The bullying ebbed to grumbles, Harlan's vigilance a shield. I started every game, my name chanted in the stands. And in quiet moments, I'd catch Harlan's approving nod, a silent bond forming. Then the email came. From the athletic director. Mandatory team building retreat, a cabin in the Catskills. Bond or bust, Harlan joked at announcement. I packed with mixed dread. Isolated woods, no escape. But also excitement, maybe this was the reset. The drive up was rowdy, hip-hop blasting, snacks flying. The cabin squatted by a lake, logs weathered, fire pit ringed in stones. Harlan laid down rules. No booze till dinner, trust falls and truth circles ahead. First activity. Ropes course, harnesses biting into hips as we climbed. I froze halfway up a wall, vertigo hitting like a wave. Jake Bilot, Smont Elise. Don't pussy out. But it was Harlan who talked me through, voice steady from the ground. One hand then the next. You got this. I crested the top, lungs burning, triumph electric. He high-fived me at the end, pride in his eyes. Evening around the fire, marshmallows toasting, stories spilled. Marcus admitted his dad's expectations crushed him. Tyler confessed a fear of flunking out. My turn came, circle expectant. Heart hammering I spoke. I'm gay. And it's been hard. Here. Silence thick as smoke. Then Jake. Shit, man. Sorry. We suck. Nods rippled, awkward but real. Harlan watched, silent, a ghost of a smile. Relief washed over me, raw and renewing. For the first time I breathed easy. But retreats end and reality bites back. Back on campus, whispers twisted my confession into ammo. Told you he was soft, Tyler muttered in passing. Jake stayed quiet but distance grew. Harlan pulled me in post-practice. Heard the talk. You good? Yeah. Exposed but freer. He chuckled. That's the point. Armor off, sometimes you see clearer. Our chats deepened, post-film sessions turning confessional. He'd share Luca tales, the ache softened by time. I'd vent about crushes, faceless boys in bars I'd never enter. It felt paternal, safe until one night, snow flurrying outside his office window, he said, "You're brave, kid. Braver than I was." The words hung charged. I left flushed, boundaries blurring in my mind. Thanksgiving break loomed, but before that, the conference semis against Ithaca. We trained like demons, Harlan's intensity peaking. This is legacy, he'd roar. I thrived, assists piling up. Game night, arena packed, air electric with rivalry. We led 2-1 into stoppage time when disaster struck. Jake, marking their striker, slipped, red card, studs up. Down a man, chaos. Their equalizer came on a corner. Header glancing off Marcus's gloves. Penalty shootout. Hearts and throats. I stepped up third, ball on spot, goalie smirking. The kick low, keepers left. Saved. Stadium groaned. We lost. Locker room postmortem was grim. Blame flew. Jake's card, Marcus's dive. Tyler rounded on me. If you'd fed better earlier. I snapped back, words flying. Harlan burst in, silencing us. Stop. Loss is shared. Learn or leave. But the fracture was there, widening. Jake avoided me, Marcus prayed louder. I holed up, replaying the save, self-doubt a loop. Harlan found me at the field next dawn, alone with the frost. Rough one. Failed them. You? Kid, you carried us. He sat on the bench, breath clouding. Ever miss a pen? I did. 92 final. Cost us the cup. You. Yep. Froze like a statue. He shrugged. Bounced back. You will too. His vulnerability chipped at my walls. How? When it feels like everything's against you. Find your why. For me it was Luca, proving we weren't defined by one moment. A pause. What's yours? You, I almost said. The team. Mom. Me. All of it, I whispered. He nodded. Good answer. Break came. I went home to Buffalo, snow blanketing the world. Mom and I baked cookies, watched old games. Proud of you, Alex. Out and all. Scary, but yeah. Her hug was everything. Back at Easton, January's chill bit deep. Spring semester, new roster spots open, transfers sniffing around. Harlan called a meeting. Rebuild starts now. No room for poison. But poison festers. One night, anonymous email to the team list. Screenshots from my old grinder days, blurry but damning. Faggot in the ranks. Who's next? Attached, my face circled. Panic clawed. Who? Jake? Tyler? I confronted Harlan, shaking. He read, face darkening. This ends. Today. He called an emergency huddle, projector flickering with the email. This cowardice? It's cancer. We cut it out. I scanned, landing on suspects. Silence, then Marcus cracked. It was me, coach. Thought. It'd toughen him. Gasps. Harlan's disappointment was a blade. Out. Probation. Counseling or gone. Marcus left in tears. The room exhaled. Jake stepped up. My fault too. Knew and said nothing. Apologies tumbled raw. I stood, voice steady. Just. Be better. For all of us. Harlan ended it. Team's family. Families forgive, but they evolve. Healing began, tentative. Jake bought me coffee, awkward chat turning real. Scared me, man. Change does that. Yeah, I said. Me too. February brought flurries and flirtations. A guy from my lit class, Ben, tousled hair, easy smile, asked me out. Coffee turned to walks, his hand brushing mine. First kiss under dorm lights, tentative and sweet. You're out here, he whispered. Learning to be. Harlan noticed the glow. New spark? He teased post-practice. I blushed. Maybe. He grinned. Good. Life's short, grab it. Our bond shifted, mentor to friend. He'd invite me for burgers, talk philosophy over fries. Soccer's a microcosm, Ellis. World's full of fields, play bold. One evening, post a gritty win over Hamilton, he lingered in the lot. Ever wonder about second chances? With who? Anyone. His eyes soft. Luca. We never got ours. Heart stuttered. Was this? No. Boundaries. You deserve one, coach. He laughed it off. Old dog, new tricks. Night kid. But seeds plant deep. March Madness, tournaments looming. We gelled, my wing runs syncing with Jake's crosses. Ben cheered from stands, his presence a talisman. Then the bomb. Anonymous tip to the dean, Harlan's inappropriate talks with me. Investigation launched, whispers of favoritism worse. I was called in, office sterile. Relationship with coach? Professional. He's helped me through stuff. They probed, skeptical. Harlan suspended pending review. Team fractured again, blame on me? The email ghost? I confronted Jake. You. He swore no. Tyler smirked. Drama queen. Desperate, I dug, hacked dorm Wi-Fi logs. Stupid, risky. Traced the tip to Ben. My Ben? Confrontation in his room, door slamming. Why? Tears. Scared. You and Harlan too close. Felt pushed out. Betrayal gutted me. It was mentorship, not whatever you thought. I know. Jealousy. I'm sorry. But damage done. Harlan's hearing loomed, I testified, voice breaking. He saved me. From them, from myself. Clearance came, cleared but scarred. Harlan returned, quieter. Distance in his eyes. Appreciate the stand, Ellis. But let's keep it field only. Hurt but understood. Ben and I fizzled, lessons learned. April blooms, playoffs peaked. Semis against undefeated Bates. Rain slicked, brutal. Tied 1-1 extra time. I broke free, cross to Jake, header saved. Corner. Harlan's call short. I faked, Tyler volleyed, goal. Finals berth. Hugs, mudcake joy. Championship weekend, Ithaca rematch. Stands packed, Mom there, Ben a ghost in the crowd. Kickoff frenzy. They scored first, we equalized on my solo run, dribble, feint, rocket. Overtime. Fatigue clawed. Their push, our wall. 99th minute. Turnover, counter. Me to Jake to Tyler, tap in. Whistle. Champion. Pandemonium. Harlan lifted the trophy, us hoisting him. In the roar, his whisper. Proud kid. All of you. Post-party bonfire on the quad. Jake toasted. To Ellis, our heart. Cheers. Even Tyler nodded respect. Later, Harlan pulled me aside, firelight dancing. Truth time. That hidden thing? Not just Luca. I waited, breath held. I'm gay too. Hid it 30 years. Watched you. Reminded me of the boy I buried. Speaking up? Your courage, Ellis. Gave me mine. Tears stung. Coach. Harlan off-field. He hugged me brotherly. Out next season. With you leading. I nodded, world shifting. Betrayal sting faded. Love, familial fierce, filled the gaps. Summer called, but Easton lingered in my bones. Bullied boy to champion, secrets to strength. Life's a pitch, kicks miss, but you run on. And in the running you find your team. The confetti from the championship still clung to my cleats like stubborn memories when I boarded the Greyhound back to Buffalo that May afternoon. The bus wheezed through the throughway's rolling hills, past farm silos silhouetted against a sky the color of faded denim, and I pressed my forehead to the cool window, replaying Harlan's words in a loop that both soothed and unsettled me. I'm gay too. It wasn't a bomb, not really. Just a quiet detonation that rearranged everything I'd assumed about the man who'd become my unlikely anchor. 30 years in the closet, coaching kids like me through their own shadows, all while wrestling his own ghosts. Luca's name echoed in my mind, that lost winger from a life Harlan rarely unpacked. But now it felt less like history and more like a bridge to understanding why he'd fought so hard for me when no one else would. Mom picked me up at the station, her station wagon idling with the AC blasting against the unseasonable heat. She enveloped me in one of those hugs that smelled like lavender detergent and home-cooked meatloaf, her eyes scanning my face for the invisible scars. Champion, huh? My boy's a champion. We drove with the windows down, wind whipping my hair, and I spilled it all over takeout Chinese at the kitchen table. The bullying's ebb, the retreat's raw confessions, Ben's jealousy-fueled sabotage, and Harlan's revelation, delivered like a pass too perfect to intercept. She listened, chopsticks paused mid-air, her nurse's intuition picking up the undercurrents. Sounds like he's been carrying the weight of the world, Alex. And you've grown roots here, haven't you? I nodded, poking at my low mane. The fortune cookie's promise of new horizons, feeling ironically spot on. Mom didn't pry about Ben, she knew the drill. First loves flare bright and burn out fast. Instead, she slid a photo across the table, yellowed at the edges. Me at 10, gap-toothed grin, clutching a participation trophy after a Pee Wee tournament rainout. Remember this? You said. Mom, next time I win for real. Look at you now. Summer unfolded lazy and restorative. The kind of Buffalo stretch where lake-effect humidity turns every day into a steam bath. But the backyard grill sizzled with possibility. I picked up shifts at the local rec center, coaching middle schoolers who tripped over their own feet but chased the ball with that wide-eyed ferocity I'd lost somewhere between high school lockers and Easton's turf. One kid, Timmy, all elbows and freckles, reminded me of myself, hesitant on crosses, flinching at contact. Pass it bold, I'd say, demonstrating with a curve that kissed the net. He'd mimic, awkward but eager, And in those moments Harlan's lessons echoed. Heart without spine is just bleeding. Emails from the team trickled in. Jake sending memes about our dynasty. Marcus checking in post-counseling with a tentative "miss the drills, bro." Even Tyler with a grunted "good summer." I replied sparingly, guarding the peace I'd carved out. Ben tried once, a rambling apology via text. I was an idiot. "Can we talk?" I left it on read, not out of spite, but because some wounds need air, not stitches. Harlan's messages were different. Sporadic check-ins laced with that dry wit. "Wildcats without you? Like pizza without cheese. Boring." Or after I sent a pic of Timmy's first goal, "future star. Tell him coach says hi." No mention of his coming out, no pressure. It was the space that healed. The unspoken trust that we'd pick up where we left off. Mid-July, the heat wave broke with thunderstorms that rattled the windows like applause. I drove to Niagara Falls on a whim, the roar of the Cascades drowning out my thoughts as I stood on the deck, mist soaking my shirt. Tourists milled around, rain ponchos flapping, and I spotted a group of guys my age, college bros laughing over selfies. One caught my eye, tall with a surfer's tan and curls that defied the humidity. Our gazes snagged, he smiled, tentative. I smiled back, heart kicking like pregame jitters. His name was Ryan, a lifeguard from Rochester studying environmental science at SUNY. We chatted over soggy fries at a boardwalk stand, the storm clearing to reveal a double rainbow arching over the gorge. He was out since high school, no drama. Small town, but my folks are chill. Dad's a teacher, mom bakes killer pies. Easy like breathing. When he asked about me, I kept it light. Soccer star, team captain next fall. A summer of figuring shit out. The kiss happened on the Maid of the Mist, spray veiling us as the boat churned toward the falls. His lips tasted like salt and possibility, soft against the chaos. No fireworks, just a steady warmth that settled in my chest. We exchanged numbers, promising a hike before summer's end. Driving home, windows fogged, I blasted Springsteen, Thunder Road, Mom's favorite, and felt the road ahead widen. August crept in with cicada hums and the itch of return. I packed reluctantly, folding jerseys into my duffel, Ben's old mixtape tossed in the trash. Mom hugged me longer than usual at the bus stop. Call if the shadows creep back. And Alex, love's not a penalty kick, sometimes you pass. Easton greeted me with crisp air and construction scaffolds, new dorms rising like ambitions. Campus buzzed with move-in frenzy, frisbees sailing, laughter echoing off brick quads. The team reconvened at the field house, a reunion of slaps and stories. Jake bear hugged me. "Captain Ellis." "Shit you tan." Tyler nodded respect, no smirk. Marcus, eyes clearer, offered a fist bump. "Clean slate." "Slate's clean," I said, meaning it. Harlan arrived last, whistle around his neck, that familiar gravel in his voice. "Gentlemen, and Ellis who outshines you all, welcome back. We've got a banner to defend." His eyes met mine across the circle, a flicker of "we're good." Relief hit like cool water. Fall practices ignited fast. I slipped into captaincy seamless, leading drills, calling out lazy passes, Harlan's shadow at my side. The dynamic shifted. He delegated more, trusting my read on the team's pulse. Off-field, he honored our boundary, chats clipped to tactics and tape. But in stolen moments like post-scrimmage by the water cooler, he'd drop a line. "Heard from your Buffalo Beau?" I laughed. "Hiking date this weekend. Pray for no cliffs." "Smart man." A pause. "Deserve that, kid." Ryan and I met at Letchworth, the Grand Canyon of the East. Trails winding through gorges where the Genesee River carved secrets into stone. He packed PB&JS and a playlist of indie folk, Bon Iver crooning about skin and bones. We hiked to Inspiration Point, sweat-slicked and breathless, overlooking falls that thundered like a heartbeat. Lunch sprawled on a blanket, his head on my thigh as we talked dreams. His grad school for conservation, my pro tryouts post-grad. "You're different," he said, tracing my palm. "Grounded. Like you fought wars." "Small battles," I admitted, the story spilling, bullying the email, Harlan's hand in my rising. He listened, no judgment, just a squeeze. Strong as hell. That night, back in his Rochester apartment, posters of Patagonia, bed unmade, we crossed into new territory. Not rushed, not scripted. Hands exploring with the curiosity of first maps, laughter breaking tension. It was tender, affirming, the kind of intimacy that whispers you're safe. Dawn found us tangled in sheets, coffee brewing, plans for Syracuse's Indie Film Fest. Team gelled too. Jake and I roomed scrimmages like old souls, his headers meeting my feeds with telepathic precision. Tyler stepped up as enforcer, laying clean tackles that earned grins instead of cards. Marcus anchored goal with renewed fire, quoting not scripture but stats. Shutout streak, baby. Harlan's out happened quietly. A team meeting in September's Amber Light. Personal news, fellas. I'm gay. Been so long as I can remember. Hiding it cost me a lot. No more. Silence then, Jake. Cool, coach. Still the boss. Nods rippled, Tyler cracking. Explains the tight shorts in the 90s pics. Laughter broke the ice, Harlan's shoulders easing. News spread campus-wide, a ripple not a wave. Protests? None. A booster pulled funding, Harlan shrugged. His loss. Students rallied, rainbow pins on backpacks, a vigil of candles on the quad that I spoke at, voice steady. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the play that wins. October's rivalry with Riverton loomed, frost nipping heels. Ryan drove down, cheering from the alumni section, his whoop cutting through the chill when I assisted the opener. A screamer Jake buried. We won 4-2, post-game beers at the Rat. Easton's dive bar with sticky floors and $2 drafts. Harlan bought a round, toasting to truths and the team that holds them. Ryan met the crew. Easy charm winning Jake over a game of pool. Your man's a keeper, Jake whispered later. Don't fumble. November's playoffs beckoned, but cracks showed. A transfer, Derek, cocky striker from Cali, challenged my wing spot, trash-talking in drills. Captain or not, speed don't beat skill. Harlan mediated, but tension simmered. Tyler clashed with him over a late tackle. Benches clearing in a shoving match that ended with refs pulling hair. I pulled Derek aside post-scrimmage, under sodium lamps buzzing like angry bees. We're building, man. Not burning. He scoffed. Heard about your drama. Coach's pet project. Fury flared, but I swallowed it. Bait? Nah. Equal. Step up or step off. He did, grudgingly, his goals padding our attack. Gratitude came in a fist bump before the quarters. Quarters against Colgate rematch ghosts. Snow flurries danced, field slick as deceit. They pressed early, but Marcus stoned a pen. I danced through midfield, feeding Tyler for 1-0. Second half, Derek equalized, but Jake's volley and stoppage sealed it. Election. Pure. Semis, neutral site in Albany, against Syracuse Redux. Ryan road-tripped with Ben, who'd become a tentative friend post-apology. Holding signs. Ellis Magic. Tied 2-2, my leg cramped in extra time, vision blurring. Harlan subbed me, but not before a free kick, curling beauty to Derek's nod. 3-2. Finals bound. Championship Eve, hotel in Binghamton, nerves electric. Team dinner, pasta, Harlan's speech on legacy. Last year was fire. This? Inferno. Room checks early, but Jake and I snuck to the roof, city lights sprawling. Remember the bus ride? Your messages. I nodded. Yeah. Feels lifetimes ago. You're the glue, Cap. Bro hug real. Finals dawn. Versus Ithaca, redemption arc, stadium packed. Broadcast crew humming. Kickoff frenzy, they scored off a deflection 1-0. We pushed, my breakaway saved spectacularly. Halftime, Harlan's eyes fire. Write the story now. Second half, equalizer. Derek solo, me screening. 1-1. Overtime, exhaustion's edge. 108th minute. Turnover counter. Me full sprint, ball glued to foot. Defender Langs, foul. PK. Crowd holds breath. Spot ball heavy. Keeper dances. I visualize low left. Run up, strike, swish. 2-1, whistle. Champions again. Trophy lift. Tears mixing with snow. Harlan's arm around me, proud dad vibe. Ryan rushes the field, kiss amid confetti, team whoops approval. Banquet night, suits and speeches. Harlan dedicates to the boy who taught me out loud, me blushing. Award for me, MVP. Speech short. To the team that broke me then built me back. Love wins on the field, off it. Summer 2.0, Ryan and I road tripped the Finger Lakes. Vineyards, kayaks, lazy fucks and hammocks. Mom met him, pies served, approval stamped. Harlan vacationed Europe. Emailing Luca's old haunts. Healing kid. Thanks. Fall senior year, Captain Full Throttle. New blood, old bonds. No bullying legacy too strong. Pro Scout circled. Offers trickled. One night, post-win bonfire, Harlan and I talked future. Coaching, he asked. Maybe. Pay it forward. He smiled. You already are. Betrayals faded to footnotes. Conflicts to character. Life's pitch stretched endless. Kicks, misses, goals. And in every run, love. Ryan's hand, team's roar, Harlan's nod. Human, messy hours. Senior year hit like a perfectly weighted through ball, swift, precise, propelling me toward horizons I'd only glimpsed in fever dreams. By September's end, Easton University's campus thrummed with that electric undercurrent of reinvention. Leaves turning crimson along the walkways, coffee shops overflowing with bleary-eyed undergrads cramming syllabi, and the Wildcats soccer team, fresh off back-to-back titles, drawing stares like minor celebrities. I moved into a off-campus house with Jake and two lacrosse guys. Peeling paint, creaky floors, but freedom in every mismatched mug. Ryan crashed often, his environmental biotexts bleeding into late-night debates on climate and carbon footprints, his laugh cutting through the chaos like a clearing pass. Harlan's full emergence as Easton's first-out coach transformed the program subtly but seismic. No grand press conferences, just a profile in the student paper, the man behind the whistle, quoting him on resilience. Hiding's a slow poison. Coming out. That's oxygen. Boosters grumbled at first, but wins silenced them. Our preseason scrimmages were clinics, my wing overlaps with Derek's runs carving defenses like butter. The team felt invincible, a brotherhood forged in fire and forgiveness, though scars itched on rainy days. Ryan and I settled into a rhythm that felt less like dating and more like partnership. Weekend getaways to his family's cabin upstate, where we'd hike trails blanketed in pine needles, sharing silences as comfortable as our tangled mornings. He was my soft landing after practices, massaging knots from my calves while I ranted about Derek's ego or Jake's latest Tinder disaster. You're glowing, Alex, he'd murmur, fingers tracing my jaw. Captain looks good on you. Intimacy deepened, exploratory and affirming, bodies mapping each other with the reverence of artists. Never rushed, always rooted in that quiet certainty of here, now, us. But peace has a way of lulling you before the storm. October brought the Riverton rivalry, a night game under floodlights that painted the field in stark silver and shadow. Mom flew down, her Wildcat scarf a splash of green in the stands, Ryan beside her trading stats like old pals. We dominated early, 2-0 up on my assist to Tyler's header, but complacency crept in, a lazy back pass from Marcus gifting them a counter. 2-1, Harlan's halftime roar. Wake up! This ain't charity. Second half, Derek's rocket restored the lead, but Riverton's equalizer came off a contentious pen. Diver, I called it, but the ref bought it. Tie, tension coiling. Extra time, legs leaden. I won a corner, whipped it in, Jake Rose nodded down to Tyler, volley buried. 3-2. Final whistle, eruption. Post-game, Riverton's coach cornered Harlan. Your boy's a showboat, watch him. Harlan's reply, cool. My boy's a winner. Jealous. Dressing room high, but Derek's quip soured it. That pen was soft. Refs favor the champs. Jake shot back. Play your game, not the whistle. Fists clenched, I stepped in, captain's voice steady. Cool it. We're the story. Write it right. Harlan nodded approval from the door, but his eyes held worry. Fractures, even healed, can spiderweb. Week later, the fracture cracked open. Anonymous again, this time a leaked video circulating team chats. Grainy cell footage from last year's retreat, me and Harlan by the fire, my hand on his knee in a moment of emphasis, his laugh too warm. Caption. Captain and coach. Team spirit or something more. Whispers ignited. Players side-eyeing, boosters emailing the AD. Ryan saw it first, face paling over breakfast bagels. This is bullshit, Alex. Set up. Feels like it. Betrayal's taste, familiar and foul. Who? Derek, nursing grudge? Tyler, old habits? I confronted the house. Jake swore ignorance, eyes hurt. Not us, man. Swear. Harlan called emergency huddle, projector dark. This poison again? We're done with it. His voice cracked, vulnerability raw. That clip? Context lost. Ellis and I, family, nothing else. Murmurs, Derek shifted, guilty. Harlan's gaze pinned him. Own it or own out. Derek cracked. Me. Angry about bench time. Thought it'd shake things up. Outrage rippled, Jake lunging me, holding him back.
Harlan, suspension.
Counseling. Last chance. Derek slunk away, team deflated. Fallout lingered. Media sniffed, local sports blog. Easton coach under fire amid scandal rumors. Harlan stonewalled, but the toll showed. Grayer temples, quieter sidelines. I cornered him post-practice, rain sheeting down. This on me. No, Keith. On cowards. He sighed, water dripping from his cap. But timing sucks. Meeting with the press tomorrow. Future's iffy.
Gut Punch.
Fight it. I am. For us. Fist bump soaked in solid. Ryan rallied. Candlelight vigil on the quad. Students chanting Harlan stays. Mom called. Stand tall, baby. Even Ben texted support, bridge mended. Hearing day, I testified again. Coach Harlan's integrity built this team. The video? A hug in context. Cleared, but probation oversight sensitivity training. Harlan emerged battered but unbroken. We're good, he said, clapping my back. But eyes on. Noise leaps. November's playoffs loomed, distraction our enemy. Quarters versus Colgate. Snow dusting the lines. We scrapped 1-0 win, my shutout crossed the difference. Semis, neutral turf, Syracuse storm. Ryan and Jake's girl-coordinated signs. Wildcats roar. 2-1 thriller, Derek redempt. Assist to me for the sealer. Finals eve, hotel jitters. Harlan's speech. Champions aren't crowned in calm. Storms where legends form. Derek apologized privately. Fucked up. Won't again. Finals. Ithaca. Rematch reckoning. Blizzard brewing, visibility nil. They struck first, wind-aided curler. 1-0. Halftime freeze, Harlan's fire. Own the gale. Equalizer. Jake's long ball, my volley deflected but counts. 1-1. Extra time, numbed fingers. 117th turnover, me sprinting blind. Cross, Tyler's tap. 2-1, whistle. Three-peat. Trophy, tears frozen on cheeks. Harlan's hug. You did it, Cap. Ryan's kiss, crowds roar. Banquet, Derek's toast. To second chances. Harlan's. To truths that bind. Winter break. Ryan and I escaped to his cabin, fire crackling, snow muffling world. We talked futures, his fieldwork in Costa Rica, my MLS combine invite. Come with, he asked. Tryouts first. Then. Yeah. Intimacy by firelight, bodies and souls sinking. Love you, he whispered first. Echoed back truth. Spring, senior thesis on sports psychology, Harlan guest lecturer, sharing closet costs. Grads applied. Offers from Rochester Rhinos tryout camps. May commencement, cap and gown, mom beaming.
Harlanais en chèque, prou, son.
Ryan's ring, promise subtle. Postgrad haze. Combine in Florida, heat brutal. Scouted sign backup wing USL. Ryan deferred grad school. We sublet in Charlotte, skyline views. First pro game, lights blinding. Assist winner, crowd chant. Post game, Harlan texted. Knew it. Lucas smiling. Years blurred. Promotions, Ryan's NGO startup. Our wedding in Letchworth. Jake best man, Harlan officiant. Loves the ultimate play, he said. Kids came, adopted twins, soccer mad. Harlan retired, mentored youth. Betrayals? Distant echoes. Life's field. Runs, falls, goals. Human heart wins. Pro ball in the USL's Charlotte Independence felt like stepping from a well-worn sneaker into a custom boot. Snug fit, but every blister a reminder of the grind. Summer 2027, the city baked under a relentless Carolina sun, humidity clinging like a bad defender, but the locker room buzzed with that raw, unpolished energy of second division soccer. Journeymen with salt crack tattoos, rookies wide-eyed and hungry, and me 22 slotted as starting right wing with a chip on my shoulder the size of Easton's championship banners. Ryan and I had crashed into a one-bedroom in Noda, the Arts District's brick lofts pulsing with street murals and craft breweries. Our lives a tangle of his fieldwork reports and my recovery shakes. Netflix cues interrupted by calf stretches on the living room rug. The first call-up was magic laced with mundane. July opener against Richmond. The pitch Sopo's berm packed with tailgaters in green kits. Grill smoke wafting like incense. I started, nerves electric, dribble past their left back. Cross low for the tap-in. 1-0. Final score held, and post-game, Jake FaceTime from his finance gig in NYC. USL beast mode. Beers on me next visit. Harlan's text landed softer. Clean sheet assist.
Luca di approve.
Ryan waited in the stands, his hug tasting of hot dogs and home. My star. But pro-life's glamour is thin veneer over bone-deep hustle. Away trips blurred into bus rides through tobacco fields and strip malls. Games turning slog. Turf burns, yellows for dissent, the ache of draws that feel like losses. Teammate dynamics mirrored Easton's. Cliques formed quick, banter edged sharp. Our captain, Marco, a grizzled vet from Colombia with a gold chain and a laugh like thunder, took me under wing, but whispers followed. Easton, pretty boy, they'd mutter, my college polish clashing with their calluses. One enforcer, Biggs, tested early. Shoulder charge in training. Welcome to the league, kid. I held ground, Harlan's voice in my ear. Spine Ellis. Ryan grounded me. Dinners of his experimental quinoa bowls. Walks along the little sugar creek where he'd point out invasive vines. Metaphors for unchecked egos. Our love deepened in the quiet. Lazy Sundays tracing tattoos, his compass rose, my wildcat claw. Talks of rings and roots. Adopt someday, he'd muse, head on my chest. Tiny humans in cleats? Chaos but ours. Fall playoffs teased, but injury struck. A twisted ankle and a meaningless cup tie, sidelining me 3 weeks. Rehab pool laps echoed isolation. Ryan smuggling rom-coms to the clinic. Healing's a team sport, he'd quip. Foot rubs his MVP move. Return match, substitute heroics. Sub on 70th, winner's curler from 20 yards. Media blip, ex-college star shines. Scouts from MLS's Charlotte FC sniffing. Excitement hummed. Ryan's grin. Big leagues, baby. Off-field, shadows stirred. A teammate's wife cornered me at a team barbecue. Tipsy on IPAs. Heard about your coach drama. Careful, reputations stick. Old wounds itched. I brushed it off, but doubt crept. Biggs escalated. Fairy foot jabs and drills. Marco shutting him down, but damage lingering. Harlan visited mid-season. Flight from Albany, couch surfing our loft. Over barbecue at Price's chicken coop. He sized up my tails. League's a jungle. Roar back. We watched tape, his annotations sharp. More shoulder here, own space. Bonding over beers, he opened on retirement. Coaching youth now. Little Lucases everywhere. His eyes misted. You were mine. Proud. Ryan bonded too, hiking Crowder's Mountain. Harlan's stories of 90s Europe drawing parallels to Ryan's eco-crusades. World's a pitch, Harlan said. Play for the green. November playoffs. Quarterfinals in Pittsburgh, cold biting. We advanced 2-1, my assist the dagger. Semis, home leg versus Louisville. Packed house, pyros flaring. They led 1-0, but halftime surge, my run, Marco's finish. 1-1 aggregate, Pens. Spotlights glared. First up, Marco saved. Shit. Big's goal. There's goal. Me third, deep breath, low right.
Keeper dove wrong.
Goal. Tension coiled. Final kick, our vet barred over. Loss.
Coup trench.
Locker postmortem raw. Biggs blamed soft kicks. Marco. Team asshole. Fists near flying, I mediated. Learn. Reload. But fracture widen, Biggs traded mid-off season. Whispers of his issues. Winter off, Ryan and I jetted Puerto Rico. Beaches, bioluminescent bays glowing like fireflies. Proposal there, knee and sand at flamenco. Alex, run this life with me? Yes, tears salting the sea. Mom's ring, heirloom simple. Spring 2028, MLS call-up. Charlotte FC back up to star winger. Training camp brutal, GPS vest tracking sprints, film till eyes crossed. Teammates pro caliber. Vets with World Cup scars, internationals with accents thick as accents. Coach Reyes, tactical wizard, nodded my trial. Show me Easton fire. Debut sub against Atlanta. Assist in 3-2 win. Buzz built. Ryan's job stabilized. Hybrid remote/fieldwork. Wedding planning woven. June Letchworth, intimate, 50 guests, vows under the falls mist. But betrayals echo. Leaked email chain. Old Easton clip resurfacing in MLS media. Favoritism, headlines probed. Rays called me in. Clean. Always. Harlan vouched via call. Kids gold. Cleared but scrutiny stung. Season peaked. Starting gigs, goals trickling. Playoffs miss but promise. Off-season wedding bliss, Jake's toast. From bullies to best man, love ya Cap. Harlan's words. Luka, if you're watching. We won. Honeymoon Iceland, geysers, glaciers, bodies and souls renewed. Back house hunt. Suburbs, yard for future pups. 2029. Breakout year, 8 goals, MLS All-Star nod. Ryan's nonprofit boomed. Grants for wetland restores. Twins adopted Luka and Harper, chaos in diapers, cleats by 3. Coaching itch grew. Guest spots at Easton, Harlan's wingman. Legacy duo, he joked. 2030s blurred. MLS Cup 32, armband in Reyes retirement. Ryan's TED Talk on conservation, me in front row beaming. Retirement 35, knee giving. Academy coach, Charlotte Youth. Timmy echoes in every kid. Harlan past 38, pancreatic quiet thief. Eulogy mine. He hid then shone. Taught us. Truth's the greatest goal. Grief's field empty but Ryan's hand, kids' hugs filled it. Legacy. Not trophies, lives touched. Bullied boy to beacon, betrayals to bridges. Love the eternal assist. The academy whistle hung around my neck like a talisman, its peal cutting through the humid Charlotte air as I paced the sidelines of the under-12 pitch. A sea of tiny green jerseys swarming like determined bees after a ball that seemed perpetually lost in the grass. It was 2042 and retirement from pro ball 7 years prior had traded the roar of sold-out stadiums for the squeak of coaching cones and the pure, unfiltered joy of a kid's first nutmeg. A moment I'd chased my whole career but only truly grasped in these pint-sized chaos sessions. Ryan and I had traded the city loft for a sprawling fixer-upper in the Dilworth burbs, backyard turf scarred from Luka and Harper's endless scrimmages, the house echoing with their bilingual banter, English from me, Ryan's patient trail guide, Spanish picked up from fieldwork, and the twins' mashup that left us in stitches. Life post-ML settled like a well-worn glove. Ryan's nonprofit, Green Threads, now a national force restoring urban waterways, his days split between boardrooms and boot-worn site visits. My academy gig, building the next wave of Wildcats hopefuls, with guest lectures at Easton that always ended in beers with Jake, now a dad of 3 terrorizing Jersey youth leagues. Mom, graying gracefully in Buffalo, FaceTimed weekly, her garden updates interspersed with, when's grandkid forthcoming? Code for nudge the adoption waitlist again. Harlan's absence lingered. A quiet hollow filled by his leather-bound journal I'd inherited, pages of tactical scribbles and marginalia confessions. Ellis showed me the pass. Grateful. The twins turned 8 that spring. A joint bash at the park with piñatas exploding candy like misplaced goals. Luka, all fire and footwork, mirrored my wing runs. Harper, thoughtful goalie with Ryan's curls, quoted Ecofax mid-save. Daddy Alex, she said, gap-toothed grin post-cake. Coach like Abuelo Harlan? Her name for him, pieced from stories. Everyday bug. But midlife's pitches have divots. Ryan's workaholic streak flared. A grant deadline pulling him to Louisiana bayous for weeks, leaving me solo parenting through a tournament where Luka's team choked a final tears and I failed, dad gutting me deeper than any red card. Hey, I said, hugging him under the bleachers. Failures? They're assists to comebacks. Remember Easton's pens? He nodded, sniffling, and we drove home to Ryan's video call, his tired smile bridging the miles. Miss my strikers. Reunion airport hug was fierce, his whisper. Missed this field most. That night after kids' bedtime we reclaimed our rhythm. Slow dances in the kitchen to old Springsteen. Bodies remembering paths long mapped. Love at 40 wasn't fireworks but hearth. Steady burn, warming winters. Easton called that summer. Head coach vacancy, Harlan's old chair. Tempting, ghosts calling. Ryan over porch swings. Your legacy's here, building from roots. But, go if it sings. I visited, quad unchanged, banners faded but proud. Declined politely. Hearts in Charlotte now. Instead, U.S. Youth National Scout gig. Camps in Colorado, scouting raw talent. One kid, Javier, 15 and fierce, reminded me of freshman me. Quick feet, quicker doubts. Bullied back home, he admitted post-drill. 4. You know. I shared my Easton scars, Harlan's truths. Own your pitch. They can't touch your game. His gnawed eyes lit. Echo of my own salvation. Fall brought ripples. Old clip resurface in a true crime pod on locker room scandals. Twisting our story into sleaze. Click spiked, then backlash. Alums defending Harlan truth trending. Ryan fielded calls, his calm my anchor. We've won this before. Deeper cut. Biggs, my old USL antagonist, now coaching juniors accused of hazing. I testified remotely, character witness against. He tested but grew. Redemption's real. Acquitted but tarnished. Coffee meet later awkward. Thanks, Ellis. Oh, you. Thanks for the push. Made me sharper. Holidays, Buffalo blizzard. Mom's table groaning turkey. Twins sledding with cousins. Jake flew in, stories of his firm's merger madness. Toasts to Harlan. To the hidden truths that light the way. New Year adoption match. Baby girl Sophia, wide eyes and tiny fists. Homecoming chaos, Luca teaching kicks. Harper curating lullabies. Ryan's eco-crib mobile spinning. Sleepless nights bonded us tighter. Ryan's hand in mine over 3 a.m. bottles. Full team now. 2045 Academy Showcase. My U18s versus rivals, scout circling.
Javier captain, hat-trick hero.
Post-win, his hug. Your playbook, coach. Pride swelled, Harlan's ghost grinning. Ryan's keynote at UN Climate Summit. Me family cheering via stream. Sustainability's a relay, he said. Pass bold. Echoed my drills. Mid-century mark, twins teens. Luca trialing pros, Harper eco-activist. Sophia's first steps on turf. Jake's retirement party, NYC skyline toast. From bullies to brothers. Legacy doc aired Fields of Fire. The Alex Ellis story. Clips of Easton MLS glory family frames. Harlan's voiceover archived. Kid changed the game. Watching with Ryan, kids sprawled, I teared up. Worth every shove. Every one. His kiss timeless. Old age crept gentle. Knee replacements, Ryan's silver hair my favorite map. Grandkids, Luca's boy a winger whirlwind, chase balls on our lawn. Final field 2070 sunset. Walking stick pace, Ryan beside lake mirroring gold. Best run, he said. Best teammate. Hand in hand whistle at rest. Life story. Hooks of hurt, arcs of ache, endings etched in light. Bullied whispers to champion cheers. Hidden truths to open skies. Human, heartfelt, ours forever.